Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here at the Monday Morning Quarterback Club. What a great event, and the things they do for the children and families of this area is simply amazing. So I'm honored and to be here and speak and answer your questions.
With Ashton Daniels, I mean, he played really well Saturday. I noticed a ton earlier in the season about redshirting him. Is there any consideration toward sitting him against Mercer so that he could maintain that redshirt but still play one more game?
Yeah, obviously his situation is kind of unique in that regard, and so we always try to do two things: what is best for the young man and his family, and what is best for the program. And so those are ongoing decisions and discussions throughout this week.
Are there any pros to having a bye week this late in the season? I know a lot of teams only got 2 more games after it, regular season games. Are there pros to having it this late?
Yeah, I mean, I guess whenever you have a bye, you can always weigh out the good and bad of it. To me, the focus is just we have a chance this week to get better. We have things to work on. I think, obviously you look at last week with a lot of things changed, and so I think this gives us a chance really to not be, I mean, it was full speed ahead for a week just trying to get our plan together, what we want to do. This week is a chance really to then, I think, solidify those things and hone in on it. So we're going to utilize it to our advantage. We do. We have 2 very important games coming up this season, and so we're going to use this week to get ourselves better and get ready to go.
DJ, the dynamics of coaching are different now. In college football and the transfer portal, everything. How much are you involved right now with keeping this roster together, making sure these kids maybe stay for next year, some of the better players?
Yeah, I'm very involved. I have a full-time investment in this program and this place, and plan on being here for the long term. And so those are ongoing discussions all the time. I think the biggest thing to me is you can look at how our players responded and played together. I think that tells a lot about how they feel about one another and feel about this program. And we know it. There's a lot of clutter and distractions put in their minds, and it's the world we've created in college football. And so to keep these guys focused and together is certainly a task. But I enjoy that, take it on, and again, we have the right type of leadership and players on our team. I think those guys, they feel a sense of accountability to one another, and I think it showed how they played on Saturday.
You said you want to be here long term. I assume you want to possibly be the next head coach. I guess what do you bring to the table that maybe another candidate wouldn't?
Yeah, I mean, those things will all be decided in due time. To me, it's like the day-to-day of do the best with the job you have on that day. So my job as a defensive coordinator, I've tried to do the best I can in that job every day, and then my job changed a little bit a week ago and became interim head coach, and now it's doing the best with that every day. And so part of that is roster management and keeping those guys together and making sure they're bought into the program and what we're building. And so that's what we'll do, just take it day to day.
DJ, that locker room scene was so powerful. I mean, I know you built a bond with this defense. How about in terms of the whole team? How much closer did you get with the whole team in the past week?
Yeah, I try to obviously spread around and get to know and create a relationship with every guy. To me, that's why you're in coaching. So those relationships are the most important thing to me. Obviously, closer with the defense, being the defensive coordinator, now that changing. But I'm just so proud of those guys. I love that those guys on offense saw they gained confidence in that. I just seen the look in their eye and how they felt good about the performance they put on the field. And that to me is what coaching is all about. So to see the look in those guys' eyes after the game, obviously I got emotional about it because that's just real. That's how I feel about it. And these kids have been, obviously things have not gone the way they wanted all the time throughout this year, but I think we have great character, great substance, and great players in that room, and I want them to know that and believe that about themselves and one another.
In this new landscape of college football with the NIL and the transfer portal and all of this coaching turnover that we're seeing, how do you then come in and keep that loyalty and keep that motivation for the team?
Yeah, it's about relationships, and I think just keeping that the focus with guys. That's what life's about, right? At the end of the day, it's going to be about what type of positive effect did you have on the people around you, and I think we have guys that understand that. I mean, that's something we talk about all the time, and obviously in moments like that, I think it really comes to the forefront. But that's what it's about. It's about relationships. It's the same way with coaches. You got a coaching staff there's uncertainty and all bouncing around, but you get a group of guys that said we're going to come together and work for a common goal, common purpose, and a group of players that did the same thing, and that's our challenge to keep that going. We got a season to play that we all signed up for, and you can't you can't be in and out based on how things go, right? You can't be still conditional on your loyalty. It's got to be unconditional loyalty when you're part of a team, and that's those are qualities that we're trying to carry over in life. We're trying to teach these guys that those are things you need to help you be successful in life, and hopefully we're succeeding at that.
How do you think you've grown or changed since your days in Maryland?
I think everything is like an evolution of life. Like we all learn and gain from experience, whatever it might be, in your profession, with your family, with how you handle situations, how you handle adversity. So there's monumental ways in terms of my growth as a person, my growth as a coach, and just I think that's always a thing to me is like you have to reflect, look back on things and what was good, what was bad, what can we do better, and we do it every week after a game, and you do it every season as a coach, and also, like I said, as a father, husband, everything else. I think it's important to do that.
Even before you stepped into this role as interim head coach, it seems like you always had a positive vibe on the sidelines. How important is that when you're coaching these guys?
Yeah, I think like they're going to look to you when things maybe aren't going right, and you got to have that about you. I have great confidence in what we do. I have great confidence in our players, and I want them to know that and see that. And I think it's easy when you have that confidence to say like, we'll be fine. We have a little saying, we say, when things go bad, we say good. It's part of it. I think, man, think about the most growth we all have as humans is usually in moments of adversity. That's when you find out about yourself, by the people around you, and really that's where we're most open to learning. And so adversity to us is good. All right, good. Let's go bounce back and play the next play.
After the game on Saturday, Keldrick Falk was asked what you brought to the table as a head coach this past week, and he said you brought life back to this locker room. What does it mean to hear one of the captains and one of the leaders of this team speak about you that way?
Yeah, someone sent me that comment or the video of him saying that. I don't have the right words to actually put that into context for you, other than just I'm amazed by it, and that's why you coach. I think the world of Keldrick Falk. You can't find a better leader, better teammate. It'd be impossible. And he's one of the best players in the country to begin with. And so, for him to say that and have those feelings is pretty amazing. I mean, again, to me that's the reason why I coach.
How much attention right now is on the Iron Bowl, knowing that you can obviously win a lot of fans, a lot of the administration, a lot of the players on your side, and also just it being the Iron Bowl and your first job as an interim head coach coaching the Iron Bowl?
Well, I think it's important to take things one at a time. So we're on a bye week right now that we need to improve and get better. We listed out things on all three phases of the game where we need to improve on and get better and be detailed about with our players. Then we have Mercer, and that is the next opponent. So they're the most important opponent, and that's a home game, and we got to go represent our great university and our program the right way in our home stadium. And obviously, you mentioned that the next game, the Iron Bowl. I think we all know the importance of that one, and we'll deal with that when we get to it. But I think for our players, it's really. I know that's coach speak, but really you have to live that way. You have to operate that way, or you're going to get yourself off track.